Hi, welcome to Polyphonic Press. I'm Jeremy Boyd, and today I'm going to be reviewing the new album by Eels, entitled The Cautionary Tales of Mark Oliver Everett. Here we go. Eels are an American alternative rock band formed by Mark Oliver Everett in California in 1995. They've spanned many musical genres, including everything from garage rock to hip-hop. They've been very consistent in releasing albums in their almost 20 years as a band. And this album was a long time coming. Mark Oliver Everett assembled the band in the studio to record these songs, but were too personal to really release or do anything with at the time. They instead reconvened and released the album Wonderful Glorious back in 2013. And after the supporting tour of that album, they revisited this album, and it's called The Cautionary Tales of Mark Oliver Everett. This album starts off with a little instrumental piece which serves as the intro. It's got soft pianos and orchestral instruments, and it really opens up the album in a sort of overture to sort of tell you that this is going to be a continuing story, sort of a concept album. And the first proper song on the album is the song Parallels, which is sort of a country folk type of song. It's just him with an acoustic guitar with flutes in the back to help prop up the instruments and sort of emphasize the vocals and to sort of complement the acoustic guitar. It's done in a very subtle and understated way that doesn't really get in the way of the vocals. It just kind of works to complement everything, and the flutes really add a lot without overpowering anything. These two songs really open up the album beautifully, and it's somewhat of a departure from what we're used to hearing from Eels, but I think it's still coming from an honest place. The song A Swallow in the Sun is a slow kind of electric song with electric guitars and Fender Rhodes pianos. Like most of these songs, the vocals are really the most important thing, and it makes the listener focus on the lyrics instead of the instrumentation. The music is really there just to accompany the vocals and to work to prop it up, and really that's not the main focus of these songs. Having said that, the music in this song is very interesting, with the electric guitar playing these sort of hypnotic repeating riffs. And the song doesn't really have a chorus or anything like that, and it just kind of trails off and really ends abruptly. The song Where I'm From really picks the album up quite a bit. It's sort of a faster country kind of song, but the lyrics are a little more on the depressing side, so the lyrics and the music kind of work against each other. One thing I really did like about this song is the layered acoustic guitars. I think that really added a really interesting wall of sound that you hear that really creates these beautiful textures. The song seems to be about looking back at a failed relationship and sort of remembering the good times after the wounds have healed. It's a very human thing to go through, and I think that's something that a lot of people can really relate to. This is probably my favorite song on the album because it captures a very real human emotion without having to over-explain it. The song Kindred Spirit is another standout for me on this album. It seems to be about wanting to get back together with someone after you've broken up, even though it might not seem like a really good idea. You're not really thinking rationally in that moment, so you're kind of having this intense emotion and this desire to get back together with someone, even though it's probably not the best idea to do so. Again, that's something that a lot of people have gone through, and a lot of people can really relate to that sort of feeling. And the music in this song really complements that sentiment really well, with the guitars playing these arpeggios and really simple but effective lines. And again, they accompany the vocals without getting in the way, which is really the most important thing. And the album ends with the song Where I'm Going, which really serves to bookend the album with the first song. This song is the end of the story, which is about a failed relationship and sort of reflecting on it, but also looking towards the future and being optimistic and really coming out of something that you have gone through, and it's a struggle, but you realize that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and you're sort of looking to the future and looking for better things to come. It leaves you walking away from this album thinking that everything is going to be okay with this guy. The production on this album is pretty subtle. There really doesn't need to be a lot going on. The vocals are mixed quite a bit higher than the instruments, giving you the idea that the vocals are really the main focal point of this album, and it really makes you focus on the lyrics instead of really having blistering guitar solos or loud drums or anything like that. They're really there to accompany the vocals and not overshadow it. This is a pretty drastic departure from what we're typically used to hearing from Eels, and it's kind of a risky thing to go from a genre that you're comfortable with to doing something new, but I really do think that it works in this case. I really like this album. It really captured the real human emotions really well, and you can tell that this is really based on a true story, and there's really not much bad I can say about it, so I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. So anyway, that's what I thought about the album. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you'd like to suggest an album for me to review, please leave that in the comments as well. Be sure to subscribe so you know when we post new videos, and you can check us out on Twitter and Facebook. That's about it. Take it easy.